and welcome to the Auntie Lisa Show. Again, let's see what we'll do a story about today. A Martian. Interesting. JB. Oh look! Aleksander, Aunty Lisa and Kristoffer. Captain Barnacles. And Hatty. Dinosaur expert Hatty. This one is random things. Right, we need a good random thing. What is it? Nice. A hot air balloon. Don't go in one of those every day. In fact, I don't think I've ever been in a hot air balloon. And a place. Ice rink. Okie dokie. Okie pokey. Let's see what we'll do. So, one day, Aunty Lisa, Aleksander and Kristoffer decided to go to the local ice rink to practice some ice skating moves. Now, Aunty Lisa hasn't been ice skating in absolute donkey's years, by which I mean a really, really, really long time. So she was absolutely rubbish and kept falling over. Aleksander was a bit better and Kristoffer was okay too. They'd been doing the practice because they live in Norway where there is plenty of ice rinks because it's quite a big thing over there. There's a bit of a lack of ice rinks in England, so it's not really Aunty Lisa's fault. I mean, it's not that. But anyway, right. So Aunty Lisa kept falling over and hurting her bottom. And she was starting to get extremely grumpy about it. Aleksander and Kristoffer said, "Hey, Aunty Lisa, you're getting pretty grumpy now with all this falling over on your bottom. How about we take a little break?" And Aunty Lisa said, "Yeah, okay, my bottom is really sore from falling on the ice all the time. What should we do for a break? Cup of tea?" And Aleksander and Kristoffer said, "Okay." So, they went to the ice rink cafe for a nice cup of tea and a sit down. And Aunty Lisa also had a bit of cake. And she started to feel a little bit better. When all of a sudden, who do they see but Hatty? And because she doesn't like to go out on her own, Andy was there too. And they said, "Hey, Hatty and Andy, what brings you guys to the ice rink?" And they said, "Well, we just came for a day out because we needed a break from the Natural History Museum, so we thought we'd come ice skating. Nice to see you guys here." And Aleksander, Kristoffer and Aunty Lisa said, "Oh yeah, it's great to see you. How's your ice skating, Andy and Hatty?" And Andy and Hatty said, "Well, we are pretty awesome at ice skating actually. Do you want to come and see?" "Okay." You wouldn't believe how good Hatty and Andy were at ice skating. They could do ice skating backwards, ice skating spinning around on the spot, ice skating jumping in the air, and ice skating holding one of each other up in the air, like this. They should have been on the television, really. They were really, really good. And they went, "Ta-da!" And everyone went, "Whoa, that's amazing ice skating. I never knew you had this talent." And Hatty and Andy said, "Well, every year the ice rink comes to the Natural History Museum and we always practice." And they said, "Well, that makes a lot of sense now you've said it." So they said, "Hey, I feel like now we've done a lot of ice skating, we should maybe go and do something else. Would you like to join us?" And so Aleksander, Kristoffer and Aunty Lisa said, "Yeah, sounds great. Although we had promised JB and Parker and Jack that we'd catch up with them. Do you want to come and join us?" And so that's what they did. They all went to see JB at her lab. And JB said, "Hey, how's it going? Lovely to see y'all." And they said, "Well, great to see you too. What are you up to?" And JB said, "Well, I've been tracking some most interesting phenomena in the local area. There is something in the sky here above the town." And everyone went, "Oh, in the sky, you say? Well, that's nice, but what are we going to do about it?" And JB said, "Well, y'all, I've been asking around, and I've got a friend who's got," wait for it, "a hot air balloon." And everyone went, "Oh my goodness me. Yes, let's do this." So they all piled into the hot air balloon and they climbed inside. And in the hot air balloon, you stand in a big basket that's made out of wicker, which is like sewn up straw. So everyone climbed in the basket, and then JB's friend, whose name was Horace, the hot air balloon guy, he said, "Are you ready, y'all? We're all going to fly up in this hot air balloon, okay? Everybody hold tight." And he did the most amazing thing where he did, and all fire went inside the hot air balloon. And then, not too much fire, like it heats up the hot air balloon. And the hot air balloon started going, woo, boo, boo, and it flew up into the sky. And before they knew it, they were peering over the edge, and they were super high up. You could see all the fields, and the trees had gone tiny because they were so far away from them. And JB got out her super cool ghost detecting equipment, and Parker and Jack were there too. And El Fuego. Why not? Let's have him aboard as well. It's a big hot air balloon, and they were going. I can't detect anything. Interesting. I thought it must be a ghost. And Parker went, "Oh, gosh darn it, I wish it was a ghost. I just love ghost hunting." And Jack said, "Yeah, me too." "Why can't we detect a ghost? But there's definitely something around here. At least there was earlier. It was emitting some very strange signals." And everyone went, I wonder what it could be. Now, just at that moment, a phone started to ring. And it was Kristoffer's phone, actually. Ring, 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 ring. And Kristoffer went, "Ooh, hello?" And you know who was on the phone on FaceTime? It was Captain Barnacles. Captain Barnacles has now got FaceTime capacity. Usually only uses radio. Anyway, so Kristoffer said, "Hey, Captain Barnacles, what's up?" And Captain Barnacles said, "I need to report something very strange has happened just above us here in the ocean." And Kristoffer said, What? Is a sea creature in trouble? Do you need some help?" And Captain Barnacles said, "No, I think you guys should come and have a look. Whereabouts are you right now?" And Kristoffer said, "Well, we're in the sky in a hot air balloon, see?" And Captain Barnacles went, "Whoa, I'm afraid of heights. Don't show me that. Oh, it's horrible, horrible. Ugh. Okay, well, if I give you my coordinates, do you think you could fly your hot air balloon over?" And Kristoffer said, "Yeah, why not?" So that is what they did. It's always a flip phone. No. So Aleksander and Kristoffer and Aunty Lisa and JB and Parker and El Fuego and everybody and Hatty and Andy all flew over to the spot in the ocean where Captain Barnacles had told them. And they started looking out. Now, luckily, even though they were only planning on going to the ice rink today, Aleksander and Kristoffer had packed their binoculars. Smart. So that is. And then. Whoa! What's that in the ocean? It was a strange object in the ocean. And it had a flashing light. Beep, 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 beep. And it went, Captain Barnacles, we can see the item. It's a very strange thing. It seems to be able to go transparent sometimes. Sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not. It's really weird. Do you think you could come up to the surface and we'll take a look together? Captain Barnacles said, ahoy there, yes, we can. Aye, aye. And that's what he did. So the octopod surfaced just nearby. And the Horace, the hot air balloon pilot, lowered the hot air balloon just enough so that they could all take a good look at the thing that was on top of the sea. And it was a very strange object because, like I say, it could go invisible sometimes and had weird flashing lights. And it was kind of burnt looking. The steam was coming off of it. Shh. And everyone went, I've never seen anything like this. And then all of a sudden, a door opened on the top of it. And everyone went, what is it? They're leaning over the edge of the basket, by the way. And out came the weirdest, most spookiest, craziest looking thing you've ever seen. It looked like a cross between an octopus and a squirrel. It was weird looking. It had loads of arms like an octopus, but it had a cute little face like a squirrel and kind of furry ears. And it went and everyone went, oh, it's so cute and creepy. Oh, I can't decide. Oh, hi. And Captain Barnacles said, I think it must be in trouble. Maybe it's a Martian and it's crash landed here. Where there is a creature in need, the octonauts are there to save it. So everyone said, well, great idea. Now, Hatty and Aunty were beside themselves because Hatty and Aunty love all animals and all creatures. And that's why they work at the Natural History Museum. And they were like, whoa, we've never seen anything like this. You're right. I really think it must be from outer space. We've got to give it a help and maybe do some studies on it. And Captain Barnacles said, no studies will be done on this creature. We need to save the day and help it. And so that is what he did. He said, come here, little creature from Mars. And the little creature went, oh. And he had a little bump on his head. Peso jumped out of the octopod onto the really hot spaceship, because the spaceship had flown in from the sky through from space and it got really hot, and the animal had like a burn on his head from the impact and from the heat. And Peso said, oh, I'll help you. Oh, it's blooming hot on here. Oh, ow, ooh, 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 okay. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Right, we need to get this little guy to a hospital. He's got some really bad burns to his head. And Horace, the hot air balloon pilot, said, don't worry. I'm here to help. I'm a hot air balloon pilot, but I'm also a paramedic. So what we'll do, if you lower a rope, he can climb aboard and we'll take him to land and I'll treat him. Well, everyone was quite surprised because nobody knew that Horace was also a paramedic, which is a special kind of ambulance driver. It's pretty much an ambulance driver. Anyway, so they lowered the ladder, but the little creature went and kind of hid in like a shell. And they went, he doesn't know whether to trust us or not. I wonder what we could do to help him know that we are nice. And Aleksander and Kristoffer said, well, we did pack some sausages. Do you think Martians like sausages and he might know that we're kind if we give him some sausages? And everyone said, yeah, it's worth a try. So that's what they did. They dropped the sausages down and the little creature went, and then it climbed up into the basket of the hot air balloon, and Aleksander and Kristoffer gave it another sausage. So they all flew back to land to the nearest hospital. Okay. Pardon me. And the Octonauts towed the Martian spaceship back to land too. And they met up there, and they took the creature with all the many, many legs and the cute little head that's just like a squirrel to the hospital. They said, hey, we've got to do this really stealthily, okay? Because if anyone finds him, they'll want to do experiments on him and find out what he is. And we don't want that. So they snuck him in by hiding him underneath a big sheet on top of a trolley. And he was like, and they snuck him into a treatment room. And that's where Horace and Pesso, who'd also snuck aboard, by the way, treated his burns and his bumps on his head. And then they took him back to Aleksander and Kristoffer's house, where Mummy and Papa were extremely surprised to meet a Martian with 8 legs like an octopus and a head like a squirrel. And they were not all too keen on him staying there, but eventually they were convinced. And over a few days of eating lots of sausages, gradually he got much better. Meanwhile, the Octonauts had been busy fixing the spacecraft. It didn't have much wrong with it. It just got a bit too hot on re-entry through the atmosphere of the Earth. And then they took him back to his spaceship, and he went, and everyone went, oh, I think he's saying thank you. And he climbed inside his spaceship, and he went, and he shut the doors on the spaceship, and he zoomed off into outer space. And everyone went, bye. And then he was gone. And they went, whoa, that's been a really odd few days. I think we should have some ice cream to celebrate. And so that's what they did. They all went to the shrimp shack and had loads and loads and loads of ice cream until they felt a little bit sick. And that is the end of the story. Bye-bye. Love you.